It's the National Football League on EA Sports, where we'll see two of the NFL's oldest and most storied franchises. It's the Philadelphia Eagles and the Detroit Lions, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
The kicker, Jake Bates, has this one on the tee. He'll run up and send this one away here at Ford Field. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
Tremendous production in college at two different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
To throw at the outset, here's Hurts. Being chased out left. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. Now Hurts on the option right. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Got him in. It's Brown. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. They'll get 8, but they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive because that's not enough. So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle. On is the punter man as he boots this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So here are the Lions now as they get set for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback, the guy out of California, the former Cal Bear, Jared Goff.
And at one point, the ascension of Jared Goff was really, really strong. Back-to-back Pro Bowls, took his team to the Super Bowl and came really within 1 quarter of winning it. But since that time, he's had bouts of inconsistency, and that's been the struggle for him as he tries to get back to the form he showed earlier in his career.
Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their own 21. Drive starts with a run from Gibbs, and nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Second down, and they go back to Gibbs. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
They've got his man complete. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 77 yards. And the Lions put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Hurts. Out route, and it's complete to Brown. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
From the 33, here's second and a yard. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Hurts sets up to throw it. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From just shy of midfield, here's a 2nd and 5. Again, it's Barkley. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Now after all of this, hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. They'll run with a big back. A.J. Dillon. Derek Barnes in on the stop.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Second and 5. Hurts going to keep it running right. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22.
And that one will go for 13 yards on the keeper and a first down.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play. How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Second and 10. Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep. And he'll score! Touchdown, Eagles! Jahan Dotson.
A 22-yard touchdown grab.
And the Eagles are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Just a great individual effort there to take that pop pass and scamper off into the end zone.
And that's why offenses love that play, partner, because that gives them a chance to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers with a full head of steam behind them. It's often like a track relay. Legs 2, 3, and 4. That first guy steaming ahead, and he just hands it to you, and you get a chance to take off and go before you even get the baton.
So I'll leave it at 7 now as they kick it away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent offer a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football.
And they'll come up second and 7.
As they've got it as we resume action. Here's Goff.
And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Detroit. Amon-Ra St. Brown.
2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Lions have taken the lead.
Well, that's a heck of a response to regain the lead after we had seen the touchdown to tie the game.
I would say what we just saw there was a great amount of poise, because typically when teams tie the game up, it's a little bit of a, how would you say, you kind of take a step back and have to get yourself regrouped. They regrouped in a hurry, didn't they? They attacked back after they'd been tied.
And in a big way, that was a statement-long touchdown. Now the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game.
Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
After that last score we just saw, now 14-7, so a chance to march down the field here, try to tie this football game. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their own 26. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Alex Anzalone from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Here's Hurts to throw.
And this one is incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
Throwing is Hurts.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line.
The Lions offense and receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown set to go once more. And seemingly every time they've looked his way in this first half, it has resulted in a big play, as borne out by the numbers.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence, because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
To throw is Goff. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle.
And St. Brown going to have the Lions first down as he'll be brought down just shy of midfield.
Talk about a big first half. Already has the 2 touchdowns, adding to his receiving total there, picking up the first down.
He's coming off the line so fast. I think he's intimidating the defensive backs with his explosiveness, and he's chipping away at their confidence.
Going underneath, Gibbs has it.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Goff. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Here's Goff. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 23. 14 yards that time for number 14.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think, a guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a entire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
Goff now looking to throw. His throw incomplete.
And their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Now Goff. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
That play call wasn't there for them against that coverage. So they're going to spin the dial now in their playbook and come up with one more shot at the marker to try and keep this series going.
From the gun on 3rd down, Goff.
That's to the tight end, Laporta.
And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
They'll run with Gibbs.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
It's largely been the air attack that's gotten them down here, but now is where you start to lean on that running game. That's a good pickup there on 1st and goal.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Gibbs again. Pushing for the end zone, but he's not going to get there. They stop him just shy of the goal line.
Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter, 14-7. What a stand this would be if they can get the stop here. 3rd and goal. Gibbs.
And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Can this defense hold them out? Here we go now. 4th and goal from the 2.
They'll run with Wright.
And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown.
Brock Wright taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Lions' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game, and no signs of slowing down.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
He dumps this off to Dillon underneath.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. I've worked with you long enough now to know you like that decision. Go safe, pressure coming, hit your guy underneath.
It's an excellent decision, but he knew it came with consequences, and that's him getting hit on the play, but able to dump it to his running back and gain some yardage. I liked everything about it, especially his ability to stay in the pocket and execute.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
On fourth down, punt coming from Braden Mann.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fights off the defender. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10.
The home team's offense and their wideout getting set to go once more. And it may be time for this defense to start throwing a second defender his way, because whatever they've done, it has not worked in this first half.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Well, he obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender. Made him
what do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Goff now looks to throw. That'll be caught. It's St. Brown.
There he goes again.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
As the first half is winding down.
And the Lions would extend their lead here just before halftime. And this is turning out to be something to monitor as this game goes along. That's now 3 touchdown catches for him here in this first half alone.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now 2nd and 3.
Back to throw. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. They'll throw now on the final play. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
In the first half, it was the veteran quarterback Jared Goff who had command of the offense. He connected on 3 touchdown passes in those first 2 quarters as his guys have built up a sizable lead here at the break.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42. Great return. The Lions offense and Jared Goff set to take over once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out.
Well, one thing I know for sure, the standard speech is to treat the game like it's tied. But when you have an advantage, they also tell you, make sure you don't get your foot off the gas. Message received.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
From the 46-yard line, a 2nd down and 6.
Now a play fake, and it's Goff.
He gets this out wide to Gibbs.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and just a yard.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
On 3rd and short, to give to the tight end. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains.
Now that run, that's exactly why you stay with the running game. You don't abandon it totally. You stick with it, keep telling your guys to stay motivated, and they found a crease on that play.
Here's Goff. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Eagles are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. Pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the third quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they just got a little help from their defense forcing the turnover. Now can they make that pay off in points?
They need to, partner. They're down on the scoreboard. Need to take advantage of those opportunities. And this is a good one right in front of them.
That stop made by Jack Campbell. Another modest gain there on that one. And I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
33 yards that time.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd and 5. They'll try the right side here. Barkley. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop it behind the line. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the 1st down marker is here on 3rd. They're going to look to throw. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
They'll go again with Gibbs.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards there and a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Straight ahead with Gibbs here.
Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
43 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
From the 50, it's Goff.
Throw over the middle, he finds Williams.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
2 yards to go, 2nd down. Counter play, here's Gibbs.
And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. Play action. It's Goff.
He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he is going to have the Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. First down, here's the run with Montgomery.
Tackle there by big Jordan Davis.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll fake the give. Now Goff. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
On 4th down, on is Jake Bates for the Lions field goal.
On the right hash, officially, this will be a 51-yard attempt.
Bates' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Hurts.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on 1st down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid game to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
Hurts sets up to throw it. That's caught by the tight end, Harrison Bryant.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. First target, first catch, and a 1st down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Open man, that's Devontae Smith.
And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice 1st down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Throw left side complete. That's Bryant. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad. Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or 2. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
2nd down and 3. Ball on the 7. Throwing is Hurts.
He will find Smith in the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Eagles are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter after that one, CD. And, well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, It actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence, because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
And he'll find his way in for 2, and we're back to a 2-score game. The lead's cut to 16. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Lions are able to cover this one up. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. Down to about the 37.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now, they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Another run for Gibbs here. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This to make it a 3-score game late. Bates' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. But probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the 4th quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
Here's Hurts to throw.
Over the middle, brought in by Dotson.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Open man is Goddard, the tight end. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one good for 37 yards.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
This is Smith with a grab. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
From the gun, it's Hurts.
Steps away. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line.
Not the first and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
On 2nd and goal, Hurts.
And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
They gotta have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down. And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1-yard line.
1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty. 1st and goal. Back to throw here. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Harrison Bryant from a yard out. And the Eagles have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And they're able to cut the deficit to 12. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none.
The Lions offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. Goff with a kneel down here, and that should put a conclusion to this one. So it's a win here for the Lions, and the guy who spearheaded things was their quarterback, and that's Jared Goff.
Yeah, he was in complete control of this offense. He had 3 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And to be honest, he really made it look easy out there.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Lions as we say so long from Ford Field.